Hitting go live, and it says we're live. Wow, that was quick.
Hi, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as J-Nima.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 399. We're almost into March Madness.
Isn't it today? Like, does it kick off today?
Starts today. Yep. Last
Okay.
night I was doing my bracket before I went to bed very, very late, just to have something to like cheer on.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like one of those equal opportunity sports ball people. Like if it's on the TV and I can knit and watch it and be like, follow some drama of cheering on the underdog or perhaps my alma mater, then I will do that. So yeah, did you fill out a bracket?
No, I don't assume I can't now. I don't know. I have done it in the past, but and I actually won one year second place. I didn't get the overall, but I got, and I was like, and they're like, well, what did you do? And I'm like, nothing.
Random.
I just went. I mean, I did it. I didn't have it fill it out for me, which I have done some years, just to give me a bracket. But this year I was actually like,
the people that actually get the best results, I feel like, unless it's a year where like the number one, all the number ones end up in the final four or whatever, are like the ones that are completely random. Like their kids were like, oh, the bears will beat the rabbits, or those type of stories. My bracketology generally is, I feel like early on in the tournament there is a lot of those Cinderella stories, right? Like where the number 14 beats the number 2 or whatever. But I think the further on in you go, the less energy those lower ranked teams have to pull out those like Cinderella stories, right? So then the higher ranked teams end up winning the further into the tournament, because that's repeated. That's my methodology anyway.
I somehow picked the winner, but the rest of my brackets were very busty, so like that, like getting that final one, because you get all the ones they won up until then, and then the final one, I don't know how it gets weighted in what we were doing, but I was up there because of that, not because I did so great in overall.
Yeah.
But
my favorite one that I've ever done, somebody like you had to be referred by a friend, and it was somebody had written their own webpage and put their own like pre like Google Forms or anything like that, right? And had organized this, and you had to know somebody that knew them, right? And it had grown to this like multi-thousands of people doing it. And basically the person that won got to choose their favorite candy bar, and the person that hosted it would mail them their favorite candy bar. That was like the winner's ransom. And and again, I feel like that it was kind of in a day where like maybe some of the like getting your crunchy bar from New Zealand was a little harder. I feel like now there's a lot more like international candy bar or candy outlets. The International Candy Syndicate is a little stronger these days. So it was fun not only to see who won and whether or not you would know them, but also to see what kind of candy bar they selected, because it could be any candy bar from any, any country. And so
this could be an expensive candy bar because it's getting shipped from somewhere. Okay.
Yep. But yeah, I never knew the people. I didn't know the person that was running it. I just somehow had gotten invited to it, which was fun. Like Laura just commented in the comments that they have a bingo card for Northfield Yarn. to make you kind of have a reason to care, right? Like whether or not your person wins in your square, you get some sort of discount or whatever.
Okay.
Similar, right? Like this candy bar was just something I didn't necessarily care about the winners or losers, but it was something to be kind of like the Olympics too, right? Like with the Ravelinics, and something to do while you're knitting. Give us something to do, right?
Yeah. I along those lines, but completely different. I don't know if you
Orthogonal.
Phoebe Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
She has on her Instagram the March Madness of Hotness or something. So she does the Thursdays. She does the Thought Thursdays. So it's very hot, and she has like a compilation of photos of a certain man, and he's the featured, and it's really funny because her writing, I don't know, very, very descriptive and fun. Well, she's doing a March Madness bracket for hot men.
Yeah.
And there's like different categories. Like there's something like Voice of an Angel or whatever was one of them. And it's not Voice of an Angel. It's more dirty than that. But singers is one of the categories.
Yeah.
And Zaddies was the other, one of the others. And so
that's fun. Yeah. They did that in How I Met Your Mother when Barney was trying to figure out who was sabotaging his chances with women and going up and like whispering like, don't, he's fooling you. But yeah. Yep. That's fun. I feel like there was like a starch madness for a while too, where like people were were saying like what their favorite starch was, or like what like the potato beat rice, beat the baguette, beat the anyway.
Right.
We digress. That's not why we're here.
Something else fun to follow along with. I guess she's doing this weekly, and I think you'll get to participate through her stories, to be able to vote. So
fun. Yeah, that it would be fun.
Yeah. So like which zaddy do you like better? This one or this one?
Yeah, I don't know that I know that word. I may have to Google it later. The other day I told my daughter I was giving her side eye, and she was like, how do you know that word? I was like, I'm side eye. Come on.
That's not yet. Zaddy is an older hot guy.
Okay. Like a daddy.
I don't know if there's a true age, but it's somebody who is older.
Okay.
And hot.
Okay. Cool.
Idris Elba is on the list, if that helps you.
Okay. All right. Well, tips and tricks. You can follow her on Instagram. Just was going to give a quick shout out to our craft alongs, as well as we're going to be watching The Neverending Story. It is going to end next Friday. But excited for that, because I know there's some folks that have heard us chatting about how we were potentially childhood trauma with that movie, but also like it's kind of ingrained in the fabric of my youth, and that a lot of people haven't seen it. So
surprising. I mean, I think that it must have been on a prime cable channel when I was growing up, because I feel like I saw it a lot.
Same. I think it was like HBO. I think HBO, it came out. I remember seeing the Oracle scene like over and over and over again, and then like reenacting it with my friends, right? Like, okay, now you're gonna have to run because the Oracle's eyes are gonna So yeah.
But surprising, because again, I've seen it so many times.
Yeah. So the public library, their copy was like broken, by the way. So like, Rochester youths are, no, I have it now too. I have the family double feature.
Oh, okay.
One disc with, and I don't know that I've ever seen The Neverending Story too.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah. So now I've got it. But yeah, we're going to watch that. And it's a book. So it's Craft Your Own Book Venture. And coming soon will be our next quarter. I can't believe we're almost out of the first quarter, although I do believe it because work is very focused on quarters, and we're planning that second quarter. We're planning the
Yep.
heck out of that second quarter. So yeah, it will be announcing the next set of challenges, which are again additive. So, and then you'll get another work in progress that you can apply to the challenges in that second quarter. So,
Yep, we've already picked some of them, if not all of them. So, it'll be fun.
goodies, they're good.
I like them.
Yeah.
So tips or tricks, I don't have a whole lot. I was out and about with Karen yesterday, or no, the day before, and we ended up at the yarnery. And at their checkout, they have these little, I don't know, it's a finger roller. So it's a fidget, but also it like massages your fingers. So, and I think they like charge $1 for them. I mean, but it's this metal finger massager that's kind of fun.
You chose a nice color.
Well, I got more than one, so because they're $1. So that little fidget is really fun. Yeah, pro tip though, they do pop off the end of your finger because they're tensioned, right? And so if you're playing with them and you're not paying attention, they go. So probably not a good one for in a classroom is what I'm saying. But super fun. And then we talked about KALs. Our KALs were very excited. You have some examples of self-striping coming, and I have just been trying to join all the KALs. So like all the ones out there. I did start a couple of Shayna Lyons designs. I believe that Shayna is doing a KAL that runs through May, similar to Andrea Mowry or any of the other ones that you can think of, like Hokie does a fall one. So any of her patterns, and there's a Discord, and yeah, so fun. I haven't really entered yet, but I have started 2 projects.
Yeah. I saw her split decision mitts came out today, which would be a nice, fun, quick one. And they're very fun.
Yep. And I do plan to cast on a hand spun split decision hat. But I haven't done that yet. Focusing or starting with the ones that are definitely vendor yarn, and then hopefully, I think somebody wanted to twin on the split decision. I just haven't seen them respond in Discord yet. So if they respond, then I'll be like, all right, cast it on. Let's get this one done too. But until then, there is also Woolens and Nosh is doing a tonals knit along. So I have this lovely just plain color here, vanilla oat, venti toasted vanilla oat. That's the name of the and then this one here is sugar maple. And so the plan is to use this for the Andrea Mowry KL and do I think it's birch. It's just a all over ribbing, but some people put stripes in there, so it's going to be an overall white or light colored sweater, but I'm going to have sugar maple stripes every once in a while in it. So
pretty.
Yeah. So I thought that was really nice. And then of course this is the superwash Targhee. So it's, and I believe that the sample of birch is also like a non-merino wool sample, and I think that it's going to be a good marriage between the pattern and the yarn.
Yeah, you saw in enabling, I got some of her green, I believe, from the cornucopia.
Yeah.
And I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it, but yes, the tonal along was very alluring. She has a discount for the sweater quantities, and it's
and then I'd forgotten about the discount. Yes, I got a little bit of a discount too. But yeah, this is from the coffee.
Yes.
Progression.
Percolated or whatever, self-striping. It's kind of fun to see them reappear, especially and see them kind of stand on their own, right? She also got me, Michelle Woolens and Nosh also got me, she's starting a monthly self-striping
Oh,
club. So I've got, again, I get on these kicks and that's how my self-striping stash never gets smaller. It only gets bigger. Like I used 2 of them and now Knitterly Things is having like 17% off of all of her green self-striping, which makes like a green, like Shamrocking and I Love Green is her new one, are like $23, like shipped to their 20, like even when you you spread the shipping over it, it's like $27 a skein. I'm like, for self-striping and green, I mean, that's a Megan trap.
it is a Megan trap. So, but you're intriguing me because I'm like, oh, I really like Knitterly Things and green. I could do some green. So I might go.
That fell into my cart, and I Love Green fell into my cart, and then I had to have a buddy for the trip. So but anyway, I am making stuff with self-striping, and it's old self-striping. So I almost have like a first in, first out thing going.
Awesome.
Probably not my oldest self-striping. This may be some of my oldest self-striping, but my tip or trick is like, again, stir that stash, use the self-striping, don't hoard it. So I'm doing some anti-hoarding stuff. Absolutely love my getting up, partying it up and getting down. I think both of mine are going to be the up. But yeah, a nice combo, right, of the self-striping with the pattern. And there's a ton of them out there. Like I've been seeing a ton of like the Puddle Ripple by Knit and Kristen that like make me want to make more self-striping socks, right? Like they make me want to be a better man, but they make me more self-striping socks. So this one's Care Bear with Fangs by 716, which is like one of her OG colors. I feel like I got it back in the day, and now I can say I'm actually doing something with it. 716 sock, which is her 80/20 made in the USA. And then another self-striping, like self-striping plus color work equals magic. No ends to weave in, but you get like all of the drama of changing the colors to yourself. So this is the Funhouse sock with some back when Fiber Nymph came to ZK, she made a ZK colorway for us and then made a self-striping version of it. So this wasn't what was in the goodie bag. The goodie bag had like a ZK 2014 colorway in it. And then she took the component colors in that variegated and made it into, I checked, I did some fact checking, put it into a self-striping. So yeah, very fun little gusset at the bottom. And this is out of a book. This is out of the Operation Sock Drawer. But yeah, just magic. Self-striping plus color work equals magic. I am on my second sock, and I think I'm going to end up having enough that I could, so this is another tip or trick. You can turn it into a mitt, and I can use this gusset in the opposite direction to make the thumb. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes. Yeah. So, you know, on the socks, it's because they're worked from the top down, you're picking up all of these extra stitches and slowly decreasing them away. In I'll just flip the chart and be making stitches versus decreasing stitches to get the thumb. It's obviously not going to be as big as the heel gusset is, but to expand it out until I had a big, and Zoom thinks I'm trying to do a thumbs up. Thumb. There we go. The thumb, the right width. So yeah. And they're so smushy. Like, again, if you don't have a pair of color work socks, do it. They are so, it's like DK socks, but like, yeah, using some single ladies out of the stash and like super smush. And last but certainly not least, kind of a combo. I think we're doing like a combo favorite things and tips and tricks, but in honor of in honor of St. Patrick's Day, I am wearing a green sweater every day this week. So I kind of threw that out there at the beginning of the week with some of my coworkers, and now it's been a really fun challenge, like similar to stirring my stash of sweaters and be like, ooh, that's right, I have this green one. You would think I just have a stack of green sweaters, but I do have them spread out by like weight. Right. So I've kind of got my summer tops and my fingering weight, and like my fingering weight in color work, and then like my heavier, and then my heavier with color work. So they're not all like, it's not all green, despite what people might think. And it's definitely not all just, one green pile. So it's been fun. It's been fun. I can't remember. I wore, it was a Brooklyn tweed one that I made out of Brooklyn tweed yarn. And now the name of it is completely escaping me. I think we made a big deal on the podcast because like I could just rip the yarn in half. It was not it was a very airy yarn. It didn't have a lot of tensile strength. Earlier this week, and I was like, I hadn't worn this in a really long time.
Oh, yeah.
And I did it because it was green.
That's deep. Yeah, that's a deep stash sweater.
Yeah, button jar, I think, was the colorway of the green. Oh, it's so good. Beautiful. Chef's kiss green, good. But yeah, so, and today wearing this guy right here. But yep, it's been fun. It's been a fun challenge. Probably had enough that I could have changed midday. Yeah, nobody at work would notice. Nobody notices my sweaters at work. But I got to find somebody that'll notice.
My mental inventory is coming up with very few, because recently, or not so recently, because I mean, it's been years, I had somebody reclaim the yarn for me on my green sweaters. So I had two that I had reclaimed. And actually, I think that Sarah still has the Tweety yarn. So I haven't gotten it back yet, but I'm on no timetable. So it doesn't matter.
Because I was insanely jealous, I feel like there are a number of green sweaters that either you've made for others or yourself, Amy, because I remember being like, oh, such a good green.
Yes.
And that jealousy sticks with you.
But the two that I can think of off the top of my head, I reclaimed. They're no longer in sweater form.
Okay.
So I'm
like,
that's fair. What do I have that's actually still knit? That's
but you've still got tomorrow. Tomorrow's the actual day, right?
Well, so true. I'll have to figure it out. I am making a forest green sweater. It just got set aside because it was a whip, right? So it doesn't count for my KAL. So I'm going to set it aside. Maybe I'll pick it up again because it is a colorwork yoke and it'd be really fun. And super soft because it's a cashmere. But yeah, I don't know if I have one, I will make sure to wear it and take a picture. And if I don't, I'll be like, wah, wah. I'll wear a different sweater and be like, oh, I didn't have any green sweaters.
Or to green, yeah.
Like, I really am having trouble thinking of them any right now. It's strange. I take that back. I have greenish, but they're very blue, like, okay, is this green or blue?
Yeah.
I can think of one right now is this green or blue? I don't know. It's in between. But yeah, I don't have anything else.
Okay. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Ufta. All righty.